Hi everyone, Jewel here with you with J7409 weather, and we're checking out the tropical update for today, Sunday, the 7th day of July 2019. What do you know, folks? Look what's showing up at the National Hurricane Center today. Well, I gave them when I first started talking about this system, what was it, 3 or 4 days ago? I said, I'm going to give them, it's going to be very interesting to see if this thing pops up by Sunday or Monday. Well, it's popped up now on Sunday. Now, I do have this set on 5 days. Okay, the 5-day view. I did that to show you what was going to happen. Remember this wavy trailing front that I was telling you about, and there's a low over here. It's going to pick up the last little multi-cell that has any chance of developing into anything before it gets pushed offshore. Here it is right here. Now, what are they saying? Let's check it out right quick. Now, it's a trough of low pressure right now over the southeastern United States, and it's forecast to move southward toward the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, where a broad low pressure area will likely form in a few days. Thereafter, upper level winds support some development of the system while it meanders near the northeastern Gulf of Mexico coast through Friday. Now, in the next couple of days, there's no chance of anything. In the next 5 days, there is a 40% chance of something developing from this storm. So, let's go check some more stuff out. Now we have the European model. This was courtesy of Tropical Tidbits, but I'm going to go to my regular European model where I really actually picked this thing up to start with, but I want to show you this one too. It's kind of hard to see, but here's the outline of the U.S., Florida down here, moving on up. There's Louisiana, Texas, you can see in here. So we're going to move this up. This is the latest reading from it. You can see the timestamp. Now we're up to Thursday, and this thing, here's the trough, the wavy trough I was talking about. Here's the little systems pulled down from it. This is a big high pressure pushing it, okay? It can't go anywhere. It's got to drop down. There it is right there. We're going to see what happens with it. Now it starts to look like it may start to have some vorticity. And this is the vorticity map of the European model. The vorticity, of course, means, is there any wind developing with it, the vorticity of it moving? So yes, it looks like it is. We'll move up to Saturday. The isobars become to get a little more compact. Still not a hurricane, I don't think, at this point, but it could be a tropical storm for real, folks, and maybe a hurricane. Look at that before it's over. And on this map, it's looking like it's coming in around the tip of the Florida Panhandle, that little bit of Panhandle in Alabama and up in Mississippi and maybe some of Louisiana. This map is really hard to kind of tell. And this map is saying Sunday, July 14th. July 14th. Then as it moves on, it won't last long. Wherever this thing does come and land, that's where the majority of the wind is going to be. But I am going to tell you, this is going to be a soaker with rain. I'll show you in a moment. And then we'll move on up to Tuesday. You can see now it's just another thunderstorm system. And then it moves on out and up across Indiana into parts of Kentucky and Ohio. And now, my friends, I'm over here to try to show you stuff. This is still the European model. European model, I always depend on it. I check the GFS, I check the Canadian, I check all of them, okay? But I kind of tend towards the European model. And then I blend it together with the rest of them. But this one usually gives me the head start, and that's how I picked this out this time. Well, as you can see, here's a timestamp. It's Wednesday. At 2 a.m. in the morning, the system has dropped down now in this area. It's not even a low pressure, it's just a big old bunch of rain clouds. And this is set on the rain, but I'm going to show you more things. So we will hop over to Thursday around 4 a.m. in the morning. Then the low starts to form. You can see right here. We'll move up to around 7 p.m. Thursday night. And this is what it's looking like. Still not very organized at this point. Looks like, but it could have some vorticity, some wind in it, but no big deal. But look already. You see that white? Heavy, heavy rain coming down, folks. We'll move to Friday around 7 a.m. It is still forming. Now it's getting a little better organized. We'll come over to 6 p.m. Friday. Now it's beginning to get even more organized. This is 12 a.m. Friday night, early Saturday morning. You can see it's looking like to me now it could be a tropical storm by now. Come over to Saturday around 10 a.m. More and more looking like a look at this rain. We're going to get to the winds in a moment, but in 3 hours, over 2 inches of rain. Wherever this comes in land, it probably might be even a little more than that. We'll move on. Now, look at the rain, look at the rain. This is Saturday, the 13th, at 9 p.m. These things, it's so weird. For everybody, well, not everybody, but I'll say a lot of the time, it always happens at nighttime. Have you ever noticed that? But this is 9 p.m. for Saturday night. Looking like now it's coming in right where I said, right in this area. And the center's more or less over this portion of Mississippi. But don't depend, look, this can change, people. Don't depend on this right now. Everybody in these areas need to be prepared for what may come their way. Now, at this point, let's see what the sustained winds are looking like. Right quick, this is the sustained winds. Doesn't look too bad for sustained winds. Well, that's 34 knots, but I have found in some places that I may need to move it up some. The sustained wind should be around 47 knots, and that's around 54 miles per hour with wind gust of 88 knots, and that's around a 101 mile per hour wind gust. So yes, indeedy, it does look like something could come of this. We'll move it up now to Sunday around 6 a.m. And you can see, like I said, once it hits land, the wind's going to get knocked out of it. But the rain is going to continue. We'll put it back over here on the rain. You can see this right here. I want to get back to the wind, though. I'm going to set it on the gust, and maybe I can pick it out a little better. Right here, Sunday at 6 a.m., wind gust coming up in here through Alabama, 75 knots. That's like 90-some miles per hour right there. So we're going to keep our eyes on this, folks. If I were you, I would definitely, if you're in these areas, let me take this off right quick here. If it will come off, yes. If you are in New Orleans, anywhere from the southern tip of Mississippi, Alabama, and portions of the Florida Panhandle, as this thing moves up, this is where it's going to make landfall, somewhere right in here. Whether it be a tropical storm, whether it be a gigantic rainmaker, or whether possibly it could turn into a hurricane, maybe a Category 1. It is going to meander around down in here where the sea surface temperature right now is in the 80s. Don't never forget how these things can blow up. That's my point. So, with all that said and done, please be safe. Please keep your eyes on this. I told you it was going to happen, and it sure enough did. Or I thought it was going to happen. I'll put it that way. We never know. And things could still change. But please, please be prepared if you live in any of these areas. Have yourself a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. You know I love all of you, and I thank you for everything you do for me. And do not worry. I will keep my eyes on this. And any changes I see, whether the storm gets bigger or whether it shrinks up, wouldn't that be wonderful? I'll make sure and put it up here. And before I do get out of here, I'll move it up a little bit to Sunday around 8 p.m. And now you can see. Now this once again is set on wind gust. I want to get back to the rain. that rain's not going to just go away. You can see, I have a feeling up in this part of Alabama it's going to get soaked too. You can see how it's moving along right on through. We'll get up to around 6 a.m. on Monday, 6 or 7 a.m. And then parts of western Tennessee are going to start getting some of this rain, and everybody around here from mid-Tennessee all the way over to Memphis looks like the center of the low pressure. It should be a low pressure by then. Let's just see what it's looking like really quick. There it is. It's all fell apart by now, and it's just a big old rainmaker. So if you're going to be traveling anywhere from Texas over in this area coming up next week, please keep this in mind. You could run into some heavy rain. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, especially you have anyone that lives down in this area. You really need to watch it, make them aware of what's going on. Have a good day, safe day, and a blessed day once again, and thank you so much for watching.